Go in and make sure we have 5 template pages for our brochure website. So we got to go to our Pages tab over on the left-hand side. So let's go over to our Pages tab. And I believe we have Home, About. We added a space holder, which was Contact Us, and some version of the post page that we named Blog. So I believe everyone should have at least 4 pages. We're going to add one more page to make sure that everyone has at least 5 pages. So let's go in and add a new page here. And let's name it either Product, if your thing is a product, Service, if your small business is a service, and or Menu. So I'm not sure whether you're food, whether you're product, whether you're service, but we need to add a page to our theme so that we have our 5 pages for our brochure style website. I think we're going to add it as just like a blank page, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
Is there a way I can restart because mine's so different than yours?
Yes, you would have to go back in and add a new site in your dashboard.
Okay.
What kind of page are we adding?
This is not
I think we're going to add a blank one.
work.
And then we'll add a table to add in products or services or menus or anything that we might need for our 5th page. So let's just use it as a blank page right now. Now, when you get it to this screen, we got to make sure we publish this page. So let's add a title to it, and we'll name it like Product/Services. Right now, we'll just make it Product/Services. It might be a menu page. It might end up being a list of products. It might end up being a list of services. But let's just make sure that we have our basic empty blank page with a title in it. And it'll just kind of give us a framework for our 5th page. Also, make sure you click the Publish button so that it says is now live. Because we need to publish the pages as we make them, so we have the access to them in our navigation bar to add them to our navigation bar. So we've got Product Services, page is now live. We don't have to view the page or anything just yet. We can just click on our little icon, that's the W up in the corner. So now you should see that we have a total of 5 pages. I don't care if you have more pages than that. We just need to make sure that we have enough content to build our brochure style, which is 5 pages. We need at least an index, we need at least a contact, we need at least an about, we need an at least journal or blog or social page, something that we can make posts in, because I want to show you how like Facebook posts get converted into WordPress and become kind of this active online social area, and at least a product, services, or menu page, because we're going to build tables for products, we're going to do forms for contact, and we're going to do posts for blog. So we're going to touch all the little aspects of WordPress that you might interact with if you ever come across a WordPress site in a nonprofit you're volunteering in, or some environment, a friend, a family member, they have a page, they want you to edit it. We need to have at least the ability to do the basics of all the features in WordPress. So, all right, very good. So we have 5 pages. Now, once we have our 5 pages, let's go into, I'm going to go to My Home, just so that we can get back to our dashboard. So now we kind of see the properties that are our page. Now, we're going to go into Edit Site, which is the quick link button over there, because we have to make sure that we have all of our now created pages up there in our link area. So we're going to go to Edit Site. So now, remember, the theme is Edit Site. So that's where we go in and we mess around with the wireframe of this thing. The dashboard is where we edit the metadata, where the site features are, the general settings information. We could change themes in there if we wanted to. And then Pages and Posts is where we edit the actual content inside of our pages. So we just went in and added a page. Now we're back into Edit Site, which is the theme, and we're going to edit the navigation. Now, before we edit the navigation, let's click on the Pages button and make sure every one of these says Published. You shouldn't have any that say Draft. If any of these say Draft, you got to hit the back button, back to Pages, and edit the page. All of these should say published. They need to say published because that's how we access them as part of pages that can be added to our navigation. If any of those say draft, which means there's no content, even a title inside the page, then we won't have access for our navigation bar. All right, good.
It sounds like you're tap dancing.
I know. I am a fidgety person, so probably dress shoes isn't a good idea for me while I'm up here because I am constantly like moving, like my brain and my feet just are like always going.
Wait, so how do you get it to be?
So if you could tell when I get excited, like I talk a little bit quicker because my brain is like going a million miles a minute. I could not sleep last night. My brain was just going crazy, like it was like a squirrel on a wheel. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Huh?
Did you squirrel on a wheel?
Squirrel on a wheel, you know, it's just like run. Okay, all right. You ever seen that animation? It's like, oh, a rabbit, oh, a squirrel, oh, and the dog is like going back and forth like this. That's how my brain
So how do
feels.
you make sure it's not?
Now, you see this little area over here? It should say published.
Right, how do
All
you
of
make sure it gets published? Because
So-
mine says draft.
Oh, one of yours says draft?
Yeah.
All right, so right over here, you see the little pencil area when you go into your page. If you click on that, up here should say published. So let's just go in here and I'm going to like change my thing to about the sharp sickle Rome GA, right? Save. Now up here should have published. So is that published up there?
Where does it say published?
Right up here.
So I
there's-
see the publish button. Okay.
Yeah, so click that and make sure it's published. Once you publish it, we can go back to our pages and it should say published over
Got
here.
it.
You got them all? All right, good. All right, so let's go back now. Now we can go to navigation. Are you okay?
Can you show the other screens?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I got it all.
All right, no problem. Yeah, you're pretty far away and you have a pole in your way, so. Okay, yeah, no problem. I forgot to turn those on. All right, now, once we're into navigation, you're going to notice that it probably only has the navigation that we have added so far up there. So we need to add our pages to our navigation that were published in our 5 list. So let's go into Edit Navigation. And you'll see we have Home and probably About or About Us. I think we did Blog or Social.
Sorry, can you just like get to edit navigation?
Yeah. So let's go. I'll hit the back button. These 3 little dots right here.
How are you seeing the navigation?
So navigation is inside of our theme. So when you're on your dashboard, so your main dashboard, so you see it?
Yeah.
All right, so,
Thank you.
yep, no problem. So let's click on navigation and let's click on the 3 little dots here so we can edit our navigation. Now, so remember, theme, we're editing the wireframe. Pages, we're editing the content in the pages. Post, we're editing the blog posts that are nested in our pages. And the dashboard is where we're editing the metadata, all the settings, the general info, the hosting information, the domain, the email account, all that good stuff. Okay, so we have home, and remember, we can click on each one of these and it gives us the word, just like Word, bold, italic, so we could change how these are written out. So we made them all lowercase. We actually made them bold as well. But let's hit the little plus button right here. And you should notice that our pages appear here, which are the pages that have been published. So we need to add the products and services page.
Mine's already populated.
Okay, awesome.
Is that like bad?
No,
Okay,
because we can edit them as well.
okay.
So if they do not appear, and then we're going to add the contact us. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we can also edit the names in here. So let's go in and remove, if yours is a product, let's remove services. If yours is a service, let's remove product. And let's also make sure that it is the same case sensitivity. So I'm going to make it a lowercase p, and I'm also going to make it bold. Now, just because our page is named Contact Us, maybe we just want contact. So I'm going to make them match. So let's make them match. Product service is kind of a long name. I just used it as a space holder. Now, as we highlight each one of these buttons, let's make sure we add a description to them, because that is the metadata for the pages. So see how I have the contact button highlighted? While it's highlighted, I'm going to put down in the description, this page includes an email / phone number, contact, and a contact form for the Sharp Sickle. So whatever your business is. Yes, sir.
So underneath it says the description will be displayed, but how do we know that it will or will not be?
If the theme has, inside our navigation, if the theme lists just page description included in the theme, ours doesn't.
Okay, so we don't really need to.
But we need to fill it out because it's metadata. So like if someone is searching for, if they do a Google search for a Sharp Sickle contact info, because of the metadata in here, it'll go right to the contact form. So yeah, it is important even though it's not showing. Just like alt tag information is important in an image even though it doesn't show anymore. It is important because it's tagged in the analytics and it's also part of speech to text. Like it registers it, like when a text gets read to you by speech to text, the alt data information inside an image gets read. So even though you don't see it, it is still important.
Okay, and one last question.
Yes.
Like, so there's like certain websites where it's like, I guess for visually impaired people.
Mhm.
How do they actually make that work?
It scans the code. So it reads both the code that is visible and the keywords attached to the images. So that's what an alt tag is. You used to be able to see the alt tag when you moused over things, and it would say, oh, this image is antique car 1.jpg, or whatever the title was. This is a fancy Camaro from 1962, or whatever. It reads it. It pans it like it would a teleprompter.
It's called a screen.
Yeah, so it pulls the information associated, so what you can see and what you can't see. So it pulls the alt tag as if it was a caption under the picture. So because it can't render the picture in speech to text, it reads the alt information. And the same is for the description. Description really is important. I could give or take some of this other stuff, but alt tags and page descriptions are important. So let's make sure that we have page descriptions for each of our buttons up here. So I'm going to go in here. This page is for showcasing the products / services for the Sharp Sickle. And then the social one, we did that one last class. This is an online blog / journal for the daily activities of the Sharp Sickle. So that should be listed, our little blog or social button. If you didn't do that, let's put that in there. And then about, a little brief elevator pitch, little 10-second thing that says, you know, this is blah, 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 located in blah, 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 and this is what is unique about this business, right? That's kind of their elevator pitch. For me, a gluten-free GF alternative to the standard coffee shop. So we just want to make sure we have all of that information in there. And we'll click Save. Now, just make sure it's case sensitive. Like, make sure it's listed the same across all of these for consistency purposes. And then we'll click on our little logo up in the corner, and it will take us back. Now, let's make sure these are in order. So, I think it should be home, about, product, service, social, contact. I think the order should be that, so that the social is closer to contact. It's typically home, about, product, and then another one, service, then blog or social, then contact, but we're just going to do product or service. We're not going to do both of them. Let's make sure we click the little save button down the bottom. So now we've created 5 HTML files. We've edited the header in our wireframe theme. So now we have our 5 buttons at the top. We're starting to construct this thing. Are we okay? Okay in the back. Thumb up, thumb down. Robert, are you okay? All right, cool. Okay. All right, so now we have our navigation built. We have our 5 published pages. Let's hit the back button. Back will take us so that we can see kind of the wireframe and how our navigation looks. I think it looks okay. Let's hit the back button again. We are into our design. Now, we're going to go in and add our contact information to our contact page. We're going to add an embed item into our About Us page so we can finish our About Us page. And then we're going to publish these 5 pages so that we can see where the domain is, see where it is live, and then with a little extra time we're going to jump into our index file. All right, so let's go into our Pages tab and let's go to Contact Us. And let's click the little edit button. Now, we need to add our email in our Contact Us, and we need to add a contact form. Now, the Contact Us is built on the index wireframe, which means there is an image in the top of our Contact Us page. I'm going to leave that for right now as a space holder. We do need to put a picture in there, but I want to add a new block. So if you go just below your picture and click, you're going to see that there's a row there with a plus symbol that says type to choose a block and a plus symbol. Let's click on the plus symbol. And let's click browse, because we're going to add a pre-formatted text box. So let's pick pre-formatted text box. Are we okay?
I don't have the little plus thing.
All right, so let's, I'm gonna,
I'm confused.
yes, right here is a little plus symbol.
But mine is already set up.
What do you mean, there's already a quote in there, or a little block, or?
What am I looking
One of the sheets has it.
Do you already have a text quote box, a paragraph box?
Yeah.
If you do, then we're going to type in it. If you don't, let's add a block and make sure it's a text box. It can be a pre-formatted text box. It can be a paragraph block. It could be a pull quote. Any of those would be perfectly fine for underneath this image. And inside the text box, we're going to write, please contact us at info at the whatever your business is. Are you okay?
Yeah, mine is just different, but it's okay.
It's okay as long as it's a text box. Is it a?
It already has one there.
All right, fine. So we're going to type in it. All right, please contact us at info at. Let's put your name of your business. The Sharp Sickle.
Sharp sickle sickle.
Yeah, sharpsicklesickle.com.
Would that work?
Or whatever your thing is. Yeah, whatever your thing is. Please contact us at. We're going to put an email address down there. Or please
Oh my god.
fill out the form below.
Please instruct.
Please contact us at blah, 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 or please fill out the form below.
Please is 2 minutes.
Include
Yes. Tell them, Chip.
include all information requested in the form. I have to say that because people will fill out a form and they will not fill out all the information, and it drives me freaking berserk.
Oh, I know. I know how that goes.
this email address is not a real email address. I only asked for one contact form. Can you fill that out, please? All right, now after, so we have an image, we have our paragraph that gives them the ability to email us, and now we're going to add a contact form. So let's hit the little plus symbol. This is just plus block. So we're just adding little containers that give us access to different types of information. So we're going to add a new block. I'm going to go to Browse All, and I want you to go down to the Forms, and I want you to add a contact form. So let's scroll all the way down. Forms, 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 embed, yada, yada, yada. Forms, contact form. And so now you should have a form below your paragraph. Now, the way the forms work in WordPress is it is tied to the email that is set up as part of your account. So like when I set up an account for a client, I tell them, what email do you want your web contact information to go to? And they'll be like, oh, send it to Joe at fancycars.com. Okay, Joe at fancycars.com. You're going to be the admin for this particular site because that is the email that is associated with any dynamic content inside of WordPress. So when you set up in your settings and you set up your account, whatever that contact information is what is going to be generated via the form. This is a really easy way. I've had students actually go in and generate forms and then copy the code right out of WordPress under image source or view source and then paste it in Dreamweaver because it pre-renders everything for you. Makes all your containers, makes everything pretty. All right, so we should have a contact form now with a little lead-in paragraph with an email address and also a form underneath it. Now, let's save it. I like to close out my little block menu, so I'm going to click that and close it so it opens up to its big space. Now, while we're in here, we're in just one page of our entire site, but we have access to all the elements of our wireframe. I want to change my footer. So let's double click on our footer. And you see right here, this says WordPress. I want you to change it to your name. Proudly powered by your name. Yes, it still goes to WordPress.org, but it's a lot nicer to fake it and have your name down there than WordPress. Like our personal portfolio sites. If you didn't get rid of the created by, I deleted it when I uploaded it up to our vikingportfolios.com. I removed that information from the footer and just had designed by you, your first and last name. So let's edit that and let's do, I don't need to save mine because I already edited my name. Let's click on our little icon at the top of the corner there and it will get us back inside of our dashboard. The little icon up in the corner will always bring us back to the dashboard if we click on that thing. So as I edit pages and I edit content and I get things set up, I always click on that little symbol up in the corner and it will take us back. Now, we're going to edit our About page. So let's go back into Edit Site. And I know I'm being redundant, but I'm being redundant on purpose just so that the areas of the navigation become comfortable to you. Like, oh, if I click on this logo, it's going to take me to the dashboard. If I click Edit Site, it's going to take me to the theme. If I click on pages, it's going to take me to individual pages. If I click on posts, it's going to take me to a journal entry inside of my pages, just so that you're getting comfortable bouncing back and forth. It's kind of like when we connected to our folder in Dreamweaver over and over and over again. I kept repeating it because it really is an important part of the process. Okay, so let's go into Edit Site. Now remember, you can edit this on your phone, on a tablet, on an iPad, anywhere you have internet connectivity. You have Wi-Fi, you have hotspot, you have whatever. You don't need all this fancy stuff in here to edit your site because it is cloud-based. You can edit it right on your phone if you needed to. All right, so let's go to Pages. Let's go to the About page. Click on the little pencil. Here we are. Voila. We're back into our About page. Last class we built this, we put a picture, we put a little header right here, a little headline. We put a little mini paragraph, hopefully. I put a little separating line here, which I think is fun. Not everyone did that. Now let's hit the plus symbol. We're going to add some dynamic content. So we have 1 or 2 options. We can put a map in there that points us to the location of our small business, product, service, or we can embed some kind of video that is highlighting the business. I'm actually going to do a YouTube video because Sharp Sickle did a video on YouTube that talks about what their business is. I want to put something dynamic below our paragraph in the About page. So let's scroll on down, and you're going to get down into this embed area, right? So I can embed a YouTube video there. If I scroll up just a little up from embed, there is a map option. Where did that little guy go? WordPress, links. They move all these little icons around. Looking for my little map.
Just search that.
Yeah. Why do they always move that little thing around? There he is right there. Where is he in this thing? So I'm going to do both just so that we can do the process. So I'm going to insert map. Here's my little map. I'm going to type in Rome. Rome, VA. So there is my little map. They have a couple of locations, so I just put Rome on my thing. And I'm also going to add in, I think I'm going to also add in, let's see how this looks. So I have my lead-in paragraph, I have my little map of my location, and I'm going to add in, what did I say I was going to add in? A map and, a YouTube video. Yeah, so I'm going to go over to my embed, and I'm going to grab a YouTube video. So I'm going to embed YouTube. Now remember, this is just like an iframe that we did in the very first class we had. So I'm going to do a new window. I'm going to go out to YouTube, and I'm going to do the Sharp Sickle. They have like some really nice little videos. So let's add something dynamic. So let's see here. Here's Sharp Sickle. They even have their own little web page.
11 minutes.
How much?
11 minutes.
I know. This lady must be pretty dynamic for a 1-year anniversary for her to talk that long. So I'm going to copy this link, which is the URL for my video. I'm going to go in here, drop it in there, and there she is making her cameo.
What is that hand sign that she's throwing up?
Peace and love. I don't know.
Sharp Sickle.
I think she's
a
just
freeze frame of a greater
she's just
motion.
fidgety a little bit. Now
I don't know.
there's a really good example. Have you ever uploaded a YouTube video?
Yes.
You know how you can pick which frame is the video frame?
Yeah.
That is the static part before people load the video? They probably could have made a better choice here than her.
I don't know, her
what-
fingers look interlocked. I
whatever
don't think
she-
it was a bigger
I think
motion.
this is like love or something, like she's, giving you the heartfelt conversation. All right, very good. Are we okay? So we have our main picture, we have our headline, we have our lead-in paragraph, and we have at least one embed item, one dynamic bit of content. It could be a video, it could be a map. If they have Facebook, they have the Facebook embed or Twitter embed. I don't know which yours has, but let's do something dynamic in the About page to kind of dress up their kind of story, their small business story. And we can save it. I'm going to view my page. So right down here in the lower left-hand corner, it's going to say, do you want to view your page? Let's see what it looks like.
You said this is easy to work.
Yeah, don't you think it is?
Wix is so much better.
Well, okay. So let's have a 3-second conversation about Wix. The difference with Wix instead of WordPress is that it uses absolute positions. So in Wix, you can actually just drop objects anywhere in the browser page that you want to and move it around. That is good and bad. It's good because it gives you the freedom that isn't tied to containers. WordPress is tied to containers. That's what blocks are. They're containers you put information inside of. You can't break WordPress because it's so column driven, right? It's boxes and columns, and it gives you the flexibility to put whatever content you want in it. Wix is like a blank canvas where you have sticky notes, and you just put the sticky notes wherever you want on the canvas. Well, from a responsive standpoint, you can actually break Wix, where you put things in places that aren't responsive, which means as you shrink your browser down, you get text that overlaps, you get images that get hidden. So if you ever go on a site and you shrink the browser and the sentence runs behind a picture, it's because they built it in Wix and it floats based on an X and Y coordinate, not inside a container. So when you place objects in Wix, it's 0, 0, or it starts in the upper left-hand corner, 0 X coordinate, 0 Y coordinate, and as you place objects, it measures it from the upper left-hand corner of the browser. What it doesn't take into account is the fact that when you pinch the browser, those objects can actually get covered up. So you see a lot of times on Wix websites where someone has paragraphs that run behind pictures, and you have pictures that fall off the page, like things start getting weird when you pinch the browser. It's because they're not built in a container or a column environment. They're in absolute position. But from an ease of use standpoint, it's super easy because you take a picture, you drop it on the canvas. You take a paragraph, you drop it onto the canvas. It's like a blank canvas. But it's not perfect. WordPress is a lot more perfect because it requires you to fall in its space where it's appropriate. Like it forces you to use the framework of it. And that's actually why I picked it, because it isn't as easy as Wix or Squarespace or any of the other ones, because they work in an absolute position environment, 0, 0. Upper left-hand corner of your browser, and then you drop an object based on its position based on 0, 0. This one forces you to be in a theme, forces you to be in a content area, and forces you to be in column structure based on that. That's why WordPress sites are always super clean, super up and down, and super compact. It's because they're responsive and they're really easy to make sure you don't do it wrong. It gives you boxes, and you got to put stuff in the boxes, whether the boxes are divided, whether the box is one empty box. It really controls things for you. So in the end, you make a better product using WordPress, but you do have to navigate a little bit more. Yes?
Just ready to find the code video. I'm done with them.
You're done with the simple block thing? Yeah, I know.
It's like when they try to teach kindergartners how to do coding, and it's just like those little squares that you see.
Oh yeah. It's like Minecraft.
This is
Oh, Minecraft is so good though.
I love Minecraft, but like this.
It's blocks, right?
Yeah, but you can be creative.
Can you?
I feel like I'm stuck in a monochromatic box, and they're like
Yes.
these colors that you could do yourself so easily, but we're
Yeah.
gonna charge you $40 a month for.
Yes, I know. There are limitations.
They're hungry.
They are. They really are. What were you going to say? You had your hand up.
What is a select parent block? Because I'm stuck on some page, which is irrelevant. But
All right.
I'm just confused.
All right, I'm going to wander over your way. The last thing we have to do is we have to publish our site. So let's go back to our dashboard.
Why do you have 2 websites?
Because I was tinkering around with one, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to show you that. So then right up in the corner there, we have to do our free hosting. What do we got going on? Ooh, that looks so nice though.
Yeah, but what does this mean? Because I can't even get to the blog page. I can't get to anything.
All right, so let's see. Right over there in the dot line, did you see the 3 little dots? You can actually go in. Let's see where you
I
are.
can't.
Oh, you're in live. Okay, so
I know
let's
you're
see.
in live.
Let's see, then it says,
No, that's list view.
Deselect your
Oh,
home.
list view. Hold on, let's see
Click up to
this.
the left a
No,
little
I
bit.
don't think you need it.
No,
List
no.
view. I don't think
Alright, so
so.
let's go here in your little corner here. And so now it's going to pages.
Oh, sorry, was I
Right over
This is how
here.
you've been doing it this whole
Yeah.
time.
I'm sorry, I was like,
Oh,
oh.
not on this
Oh,
one.
that would have been helpful.
Right there, right there, right there.
Yeah, we did it. I did it like 4 times. I went to the dashboard. I did it like 4 times. Okay, all right,
This
so.
search map. Oh, yep.
No. Oh no. Numbers too.
So we want to make sure that we're in our free host. Oh man, we get up to a gig of storage. They expanded that. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, so we could do a whole lot of stuff here. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're in our free hosting environment. So let's click My Home. I'm going to double check our settings very quickly, just to make sure. All right, we're good. So let's visit our site. Now, you're going to see the domain address up the top there. That is our domain address. So you see how mine says sharpsickle6.wordpress.com? Yours should say the name of your site.wordpress.com. That is the URL for your website. So when I ask you to submit your website for this cloud-based project, you're going to give me in Canvas your URL. So your name of your website .wordpress.com. You can't give me a zip file. You can't give me files. There aren't any files. We're in the cloud. So just make sure you recognize and know that your WordPress.com domain name is your title to your website, .wordpress.com. Now, for homework, because you can edit this on anything, including your phone, I would like you to make sure that you have your contact page, has your lead-in paragraph and your contact form. Your about page has an image, has the paragraph below the image, and has one dynamic embed item, a map, a YouTube video, something like that. And I would like you to edit the home page. The home page has a big image banner. It's got a little bit of information below it. I want you to make that kind of the brochure for your small business. So you can literally edit this on your phone. So there shouldn't be any excuses. The lab wasn't open. I couldn't get to it. I would like you to have 3 pages edited for Monday, because on Monday we're going to go into plugins and I'm going to show you how to start to edit some of the code in this thing. So homework is 3 pages. Contact, about, and the index page, and you will submit your URL to me under the Canvas link for this week's assignment. All right? All right. Yeah.
Where do we make sure we've like saved?
Good job. You are saved if you're to here, because it forced you to save it in order to get out of there. Yay! All right, see ya. Have a good weekend. See you on Monday. Yay.
Yay.
All right. Any big plans? I mean, you're leaving me, so any big plans for the weekend?
No,
No?
I'm going hiking.
Oh, that's nice.
If it doesn't rain.
Where are you going hiking?
Wherever the sun takes me.
Oh, you just walk?
Oh, I don't just walk.
Oh,
I just drive somewhere.
Oh, so you're leaving campus?
Yeah,
Oh.
I will not go hiking here. Wow.
No, I hike here. It's
boring.
nice. The
I saw you run
reservoir.
the other day, actually.
What?
I seen you run the other day.
I saw you too, the day you had a mental health day. And I saw you walking campus and I almost yelled to you, but you had your head down. I was like, I just saw him and he took a mental health day.
And then I videoed you and I said,
No, you did not. You did not.
That's a chip running in the wild.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Cameron, what's going on, buddy? Are you got anything going?
I have a long run tomorrow. I just came to mind because you mentioned running.
A long
What?
run? Just for the heck of it?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you like to run? I like to run too.
Run long distance.
All right. So you run on campus?
I ain't
I was
doing
just about
shit.
to say, I run on campus, but I can't run in the middle of the day because of that.
I do cardio.
So you could do the Viking Trail. The Viking Trail's like 4 miles out.
I
And
like
like,
Viking Trail all
Yeah.
last semester.
The erg.
I would
I
do,
had
I would
to
try to do
get
Viking
on the
Trail at
road.
least once
I
a
just
week.
run.
And I would
I
run
just
up
walk
to
and I run.
Pilgrim and